for sure it is a conflict of interest. Those people who are there for their shareholders, who are to have the interest of the pharmaceutical companies and to earn a lot of money, they have different reasons to decide, and they decide differently than those people who are in charge of public health and of safety. And the WHO is an institution, a public institution for public health, and its decision should not be influenced by the interests of the industry. And this seems to be what happened. There is no other explanation for those decisions.
Bottom line, it's a hoax.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Dr. Wolfgang Wodarg is our guest. We're going to give you his website when we come back. I'm going to try to twist his arm into staying maybe to 40 after, because we're going to have one 5-minute segment when we come back, and I've got this huge list of questions. If it sounds like I'm interrupting you, Doctor, it's just I mean, you are such a great person. This council is doing such great work exposing this fraud. Wolfgang Wodarg, Dr. Wolfgang Wodarg is our guest. It's wodarg.de is the website. We've got it up on screen at prisonplanet.tv for the viewers. Radio listeners can go to Infowars.com and link over. We've got him till 40 after, graciously giving us a lot of time. He was the head of the investigation for the 47-member nation body, Council of Europe, Parliamentary Assembly over health, and they just had the start of the intense investigation. I want to get into that in the next segment. Any new breaking info that came out, what you were told by Big Pharma that you had before you. But first, Doctor, you talk about the bird flu, and I have the Czech Republic news. I have the London Telegraph, where they were mixing weaponized, very deadly bird flu in. Thank God they found out it was killing the test animals. We have homeless people die after bird flu vaccine trial in Poland. Roughly 30% that were given it died. The media never said what big pharma company that was. You mentioned that hoax as well. Can you speak to that?
Oh, I'm not so much in this matter. I only know that the enterprise of Baxter sent such stuff to 16 laboratories in Europe, and that in Czech Republic they found out that it is a very dangerous mixture which they send, and it is said that they send it by accident, but the enterprise doesn't declare anything. And as far as I know, there have been no parliamentary investigation. I think there should be a very deep and thorough investigation on this. What I know is there is some courts dealing with this, so we have to look at the single states. And I think the German parliament should, too, be engaged in this and have a look what happened, really what happened, why it happened. It is a very dangerous thing. If those materials are handled, if those dangerous viruses are handled by people who are not very responsible and who are not very much bound to public interest and to public health, this is the dangerous thing. And if an enterprise which goes for money has such stuff, I think it is not, we should not allow this.
I also saw a lot of top genetic engineers and scientists in the headlines. I would imagine you saw it, Doctor, saying this was clearly a manufactured, that the swine flu appeared to come out of nowhere in the wrong hemisphere, wrong time of year, and that it had a pedigree leading back to laboratories.
It is a funny thing that it went like it went, and it is an unusual event which happened, and the blow-up which was made very soon after the whole thing started seems to be an indication that there were people already waiting for something to happen to use what happened for their purposes. It looks like that, but we have to find out what really happened, and I don't know it.
Well, sir, you told me off air you were aware of Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I will send you today the secret Department of Cemetery document we got in January of 2009 and the clips of an emergency manager who we did not give his name, but we confirmed who he was. We interviewed him. Others interviewed him. I interviewed him off air. We had the reporter on who interviewed him with the newspaper.com. In January, 3 months before the hype in Mexico City began, they went all over the U.S., from California, Illinois, New York, and I got the Bureau of Cemeteries, and said millions will die, prepare for martial law. Now, it appears that was done. Also, in April, got secret documents, Department of Health in Texas, where they told them we're really at level 6, and that the government was scaring the locals covertly to create this fear. So clearly, sir, we know before it even popped up in Mexico that they were hyping this.
I don't know whether your parliamentarians in your parliament, whether they are after. They should be after this too, because when we have such information in parliament, normally the opposition goes for it, and the opposition tries to find out, and the parliamentarians have the right to investigate everything. Every door has to open if a parliamentarian comes, and it has to be made obvious. We have to see all the files. This is how we work normally in many countries of Europe. In Germany, I did this many times, and this should be done, and there should be investigations. And so I think this is a very big and very severe suspicion we must have, and so we have to be sure.
Well, sir, really going back to the hoax, which you're agreeing clearly it's a hoax, what was the point of the hoax? And we also know, again, all these different government ministers in health, a lot of them are on the payroll of these companies.
I know about some countries that there are lists now of scientists who advised the Minister of Health, and those scientists are on the payroll of several companies. I know this I have information about French, I have information about Holland, I have information about in Britain. So, and my colleague, he will from the Labour Party, a parliamentarian from Great Britain, who will continue to have these auditions done. He will invite them, and he will try to get expertise and scientific evidence what really happened.
All right, got a break, Doctor. Final segment with our guest. We'll talk about what they discovered in their investigation.